Hey everyone, and welcome back to Toy Picker Infinity's Toy Channel. And hopefully the fan isn't too loud in this. I'm out in my garage working on these feet for my Legacy or Vintage Collection Millennium Falcon that a guy on eBay by the name of Star Wars Trader, well, he 3D printed these out. And of course they've been 3D printed, and you know they come with a little bit of roughage on them, so I'm out here in the garage just trying to clean them up before I paint them, trying to smooth them down and everything. But you know, Star Wars Trader on eBay did a really good job, so I wanted to give props out to him on these while I'm sitting here kind of working on them. But I wanted to shoot this quick video because I had a theory. Y'all know that not only do I love robots, I love Star Wars. And so I had an interesting theory about Rey and The Last Jedi and about J.J. Abramson. We all know that Disney has been now casting a Mara, and we don't know if it's going to be Mara Jade here. But if it is, J.J. Abramson may be in the process of saving Star Wars by bringing in an EU character, which would be Mara, and maybe even, I mean, it could work, tying Rey here into being related, if not the daughter of Mara Jade, or maybe they'll change the character's name a little bit, but maybe pretty much the same character. But Disney's using the code as Mara to bring in a woman of 40 to 50 years old. And so it could be, you know, Luke Skywalker's age-ish, because he would be about the same age. The interesting thing is I had a weird epiphany because they are bringing out the Obi-Wan movie. Now, we all know that Star Wars right now is not following the EU, but what if, fans? What if? What if instead they somehow, while Obi-Wan is out living in the desert, he falls in love with a lady who's younger than him, and they had children, and maybe that child turns out to be Mara, and then Mara has a child who is Rey. Now, this is just an epiphany of mine, a theory, but it popped into my head last night, and I was like, man, I gotta shoot a video on this and just talk about this really quick, because you know, they're bringing out the Obi-Wan movie here, and I'm wondering if they're even going to pull a Marvel and bring out the Obi-Wan movie before the next Star Wars movie, and then they will maybe tie it in. Now, I could be wrong, guys, I could be wrong, and they are going to have Mara be Rey's mom, but you know, she was with Luke Skywalker. We all know Luke Skywalker is supposed to be the one, but what if after Rian Johnson and his decision to undo a lot of the Skywalker story, what if J.J. Abramson finishes it, and this whole time we've been believing Skywalker is the one, it turns out to be our buddy here, Obi-Wan Kenobi, the whole time has been the one, and no one has told him to avoid screwing anything up, and he turns out to be the one, because any true fan watching the Clone Wars and Rebels and even the prequels and everything, I mean, Obi-Wan got a lot of screen time compared to Anakin. Even in the Clone Wars, Obi-Wan got a lot of screen time, and now he's going to be coming out with his own movie in the time frame of them bringing out the last movie of the trilogy, which I'm pretty sure JJ is going to try to save what the background story to Rey, because it's one of the biggest points that JJ handed Rian Johnson on a silver platter, and Rian Johnson threw it right out the window. And you know, funny if you think about that, J.J. Abramson wrote the first movie. He produced all of the movies. They let Rian Johnson do the second one. Now J.J. Abramson's back. I think that when they decided to get rid of Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, and Harrison Ford, and do away with the old characters, Han, Luke, and Leia, I think they, from my point of view, I think they kind of let Rian Johnson be the fall guy, be the axe man, be the guy that cut it up. Everybody gets pissed off at him because no one really knows who he is. It doesn't get J.J. Abramson too much in trouble because everybody's mad at Rian Johnson. And bam, J.J. Abramson can come back and save the whole Star Wars story, but with a new twist. And it's just my epiphany. But you know, the funny thing is Rey has a British accent. They used a British young lady to play it. It'll be interesting if the young lady who's going to play Mara turns out to be a British actor. And then we have Obi-Wan, the story of Obi-Wan coming out. So you guys can leave some questions or comments at the bottom. This is just my fan theory, but I am wondering if, you know, and this is a past theory where people thought maybe somehow Rey here would be, you know, related even to Obi-Wan somehow. Well, I'm wondering if this is how they'll do it. And, you know, I mean, from my point of view as a fan, it could work. It could totally work, because we have no clue about what happened with Obi-Wan during his time alone, except for what they showed in Star Wars Rebels a little bit, where Darth Maul shows back up to, you know, fight Obi-Wan. But I'm wondering if they put in some sort of twist where Obi-Wan had a love relationship later, had a normal relationship because he's he's a Jedi in hiding, basically no longer a Jedi, and maybe that's how Mara Jade's going to come into this. Is Mara, instead of being the Sith assassin that she was in the extended universe, she instead becomes a related person to Obi-Wan, maybe his own daughter or something like that, and then out comes Rey, who is her daughter. And it would totally work. I mean, it would be a crazy twist to suddenly say, well, hey, King's X Obi-Wan, you never knew, but guess what? Your child is the one to balance the Force. And Anakin thought it was all about him the whole time. It would be one heck of a twist, but, you know, I mean, if they tied the story in this way, it could totally work and be somewhat believable. Yes, there's going to be a lot of fans who are going to go, oh, that's totally crazy, Toy Picker Infinity, no. You know, like I said, it's just it's just my theory, but maybe, just maybe, I mean, that could somewhat save Star Wars and give us a good background story on Rey and why Rey is so powerful, because we all know that Mara, in her own right, was super powerful, even though Jason Solo ended up killing her. But we all know that Mara was very powerful in her own right. And if she had a daughter, I mean, and it happened to be also the daughter of Obi-Wan, why wouldn't she be very powerful? Because Obi-Wan, as we all know, was a lot more powerful than Star Wars really led on. They always pointed at Yoda and Anakin being so overly powerful, but as we saw, at least in the Clone Wars series, Obi-Wan tended to be a lot more powerful than he led on to everybody else. So what if, guys? What if this is Grandpa Obi-Wan right here, granddaughter Rey, and Obi-Wan's daughter Mara, because they're looking for someone who would be the right age to be Obi-Wan's daughter when she shows up in the next movie. So leave your questions and comments at the bottom below. Try not to flame me too much. It's just a theory. It's just a crazy epiphany I had. And I'll talk to you guys soon. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye.